is my screen weird? I don't. Well, good morning, everybody. Yes, my hair is windblown. I need to brush it, but it didn't get done before we started a live, so here we are. Oh, good morning, Iris. How are you? And Beth, how are you? Mm, the weather has been incredible for you guys too, probably. It seems like the weather's been incredible for people all over this year. Um, yes. And so, Iris, am I in the tracker? Yes. Hi, James. Good morning. Oh, yes, I'm yawning. Mm, 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 mm. So, uh, check out Miss Wendy. Where is she? Can you see her? she is. She's been outside, but it's a little cold this morning, or chilly. So she has on her new little dress, and she was outside in the sunshine, and I finally brought her in because it was too windy and chilly. And I mean, my fingers are chilly. I'm not cold, but I'm chilly. Um, and I don't know what to say this morning. I mean, I kind of have thought about things I want to talk about this morning and let you guys know. And of course, the main thing is the repairs on the tracker, right? So the other day I went and had the front end alignment done. So we started off, ever since I've had the tracker back from getting the engine installed, it has had an oil leak. And I told the mechanics right away about it. But rather than, I don't know how to say this, they they sort of indicated that it was my fault because I didn't check the oil enough because I was driving to work every day. And I knew that wasn't true. I knew it had an oil leak. So it wasn't until like my son said, "Why are you checking the oil on a new engine? It should be good for a long time. You maybe check it every couple of months." And I said, "Because it has an oil leak." And he said, "Oh, it shouldn't have an oil leak. What are you talking about?" So anyway, so I've known for a long, long, long time. And then it got worse and whatever, right? I'm sorry about my hair, guys. I will try to stop touching it, but I can see it. So, um, Wendy looks like a little princess. She sometimes she acts like a little princess too. Yes. Um, has the leak been fixed? That's a good question, Iris. So here we go. So yes and no. It was determined early on that the leak, the major leak, was that the gasket was installed incorrectly or the wrong gasket. Now, had a hunch because of something that was going on at the shop around that time. I had a hunch that Stan put a cork gasket on it. Suzuki's like their ATV and only their ATV. And according to the top mechanics in the country, the guru guys, they all say get Permatex the right stuff is what it's called, and that is the best. Because on these engines, you either have to pull the engine or drop the axle to get to the oil pan to even change a gasket. So it's not like a 15-minute change or a, hour being under the car kind of thing like other cars. It's major stuff. And so I had been quoted $3,000 to do the job. I'd been quoted $1,500 to do the job. I couldn't afford it. So when I found a mechanic, I traveled. That's why I'm out here, kind of, sort of. Yes, I want to visit some friends. Yes, I would help out people that are, have an appropriate need, stuff like that. Especially some friends that have expressed that they needed something. But first, I got to fix a car. So the gasket has been fixed. So it was not a horribly expensive. It is going to take. I said I was going to stop fussing with my hair, and I haven't. Anyway, it did not. It's going to take my whole emergency fund to get this car fixed. Okay. I didn't have thousands of dollars in emergency funds, but I had a few $100, and it'll all be gone by the time we're done with this. Maybe I'll be able to quickly have emergency fund again. We'll see. Most likely. But it depends on the next piece. So the first part of it was the mechanic I found was able to drop the axle. Okay? So they dropped the axle and he got to where it was and he said, "Oh yeah, wrong gasket. It's not only cork, but it's cork and something else, because I've done lots of RTV gasket maker stuff. It's not that." He said, "I had to get a razor blade and scrape it off. I don't know what was on it. It was blue." He showed it to me. It was blue. But the oil pan had holes in it. And it had a really bad JB Weld repair to a major hole in it that had sprung a leak on top of all the other holes. And he was just like, "Why would you do this if you built a new engine? Why would you put a bad oil pan on, an oil pan with holes on the car?" So anyway, so I have a new oil pan. I have a new gasket. That part's done. That part's doing just fine. The car's back together. And the mechanic said, "We still have work to do because it's still got an oil leak." It's like, okay. So then he said, "I need to work on 2 other vehicles. And so if you could keep the tent, keep the tent." But he said, "I'm going to give it back to you so you can drive it. And keep an eye on the oil. Don't let the oil get low." Okay, no problem. And he said, "But go get a front end alignment. You need a front end alignment pretty badly." He changed the he fixed. He checked my tires, put a little more air in, stuff like that. And he said, "Go get an alignment." So I went and got an alignment. So the alignment went really smoothly. I'm sorry, I saw that uh, connection dropped for a minute. Hopefully I can stay right here. to look that way because the sun is right here and it's hurting my eye. And when I get ready to read the phone, I'll move the phone over a little bit, but the signal seems better right here. So I'm going to look that way just because, just because. So, I got the front end alignment, no problem. Uh, and the mechanic said, don't be surprised if he sees something. Call me if he's saying you need new parts. Okay, no problem. The mechanic said, don't see anything. I do see that you have an oil leak. And I said, yes, but I have somebody working on that. He goes, I do believe that it is your XYZ, which is the same thing that the mechanic had told me. Um, so I took that information back to the mechanic. I went to the grocery store because I was really close to it, and then came back. And at camp, I spoke to him, saw the project he's working on. You think my car's in rough shape? Whoa. These people, I don't know where they came from exactly, maybe Midwest. Um, their van is so rusted. Oh my goodness, Lord. And somebody had welded something in the suspension, I don't even know what, that moves like when you turn the steering wheel. They had welded it to the frame of the van, and the frame of the van was rusted. And so every time they turned the steering wheel, they were messing with the frame of the van. So that was kind of, a higher priority right this minute than finishing mine. So they're, I think, still over there. I didn't look this morning, but they're over there, and he's jacking it up with them sometimes. Well, it's not so jacked up, but anyway, so they're staying in their van, and he's welding on it and getting it fixed for them so that they can be safe. But it's a pretty rusty van. I'm so grateful I don't have that problem. So let's see. So what's going on with the oil leak is at this stage. Okay, so that same day was the day that Sylvia said, so today's the day that I'm going to go to an AutoZone and have them check what's wrong with my van because I've been having trouble starting it. And when I get back, I'm picking the tent up. Well, I'm so glad he let me have the tracker. So I had to move back into the tracker, clean up that camp, and Sylvia came and got her tent. And she would like me to go where she is tomorrow, but I'm not sure that I can do that yet. So the other part of this is that the mechanic is pretty sure, and because of what the alignment guy said, he's probably right, but he's pretty sure it's the crankshaft pulley that's leaking. And if not, he should be able to find it when he gets in to do that job. So he's got to finish that van up so they can leave. They have a scheduled appointment somewhere. And then he has another pickup truck that also has a scheduled appointment where me, Miss Lesa, doesn't have any scheduled appointments right now. So I'm the one that I can wait. And if I have to wait and sit right here, yes, G needed some help. He has hurt his good arm, but he managed to get a ride to Yuma to try to have it looked at. That didn't work out well. Now he's looking at going to Parker or Havasu. And he's in a lot of pain, but he's trying to get a ride. Oh, now I've told you where I'm at, right? Anyways, he's trying to get a ride to get to a doctor's appointment this week. I'm not going to be able to be his ride because I don't think, from what I've been told, that I will be ready. He said if he has to, he'll drive himself, but he's in incredible pain. So, what had happened to him when he had worked for Tesla years ago? It was a workman's comp thing, but he had hurt one of his arms. I think it was his left one, but I'm not sure. Anyways, he had hurt one of his arms, and what they found was he had torn the meat away from the bone. I don't know which muscle. He has done the same thing to the other arm, and the other arm is his bicep. And I just can't imagine how painful that is. But hopefully he gets a ride and doesn't have to drive himself. But whatever, he's gonna start getting that work done because he needs. And then of course he's got a healer puppy, which is a good dog, can listen, learns well, all of that stuff. But he's so frustrated because he's in pain. It's a little hard for him right now. And he let somebody else watch the dog one day. And he came back, and the guy wanted to keep his dog. And then the dog has had diarrhea ever since. And he's like, what did the guy feed him? He wasn't even supposed to feed him. I got home in time to give him his meals, but so he doesn't know. He's like, "Oh, I hope my dog didn't catch some sickness from, who knows." But it, so pray for G. Yeah. So my car, at this stage, the tracker is still has an oil leak. I checked it. So I drove around some on Friday. And then Sabbath, I was able to move camp and sit still. And Wendy and I chilled out all day, sort of like she's doing right now. We just chilled out all day long yesterday. And basically, all we did was eat, and I listened to some stuff on YouTube. And that's about all we did. Walked, went for walks, did some things. Anyway, um, so we've been in this camp by ourselves 2 nights. One good thing about this that I'll say about my particular flavor of multiple sclerosis that I have, each person is a little different from what I understand. But the what happens for me, not often, but every once in a while, I have to go to the bathroom so bad that I can't wait. And if I have to get a toilet set up from the back of the car and stuff, sometimes I can't wait that long. And so I've had some interesting near accidents and learned how to carry puppy pads with me, and how to get them stuffed in a bag and to hold the bag a certain way in order to like hide by the door of the car to do what I have no time to get ready for. That sounds TMI probably, but whatever. It is something that happens for me sometimes. So I am in a place where if that was going to happen, I could step over there and nobody can see me for the trees in the wash. And so has been helpful. At probably 4 o'clock this morning, I couldn't get out quick enough. And because it's been a little bit windy, I didn't put the toilet out. I like to set it up and make it so other people don't see that it's really my toilet, right? But have it available. But in this particular campsite situation, it's cool enough, windy enough. I didn't set it up outside or anything like that. Okay, so let me come see what you guys are talking about out here. See if there's any uppercase Q questions for me to focus on. But that's the car. So probably a crankshaft pulley or something that he can see. Oh, The other thing I forgot to mention was that also when my engine was put back together, the cover is either the wrong one or it's warped. And so, with this oil leak that blew oil all over the bottom of the car, oil got in there. And when the mechanic gets back in, he's also going to look at that and determine what needs to be done about that problem. So, that's that. All right, let me check your comments. And hopefully, I don't make disconnect us. I don't know. My phone reset itself twice this weekend. Well, the last few days, maybe not this weekend. Anyways, now it's like the frame of YouTube that I'm on is low. And so I can't see the bottom of it. And the top of it is way down. I don't know how to fix that. I probably have to reset the phone or something, but I don't know how to fix it. Okay. So let me go check and see uppercase Q things. Has the leak been fixed? I just finished that one. So not all the way, but soon. Leanna, hi, good morning. Continued prayers for G, yes, please. And then prayers for his dog as well, yes. His dog's name is Spot. G does all his stuff, so I call him G with only the G, but it's Gee. And his dog's name is Spot, Spott. He does the double letter thing. That sounds like the life of a van dweller, not just TMI. Most of us have had some out of the normal different abilities. Yeah. So, where I had been camped before was across the street from the dirt road from the mechanic. I could see him. He could wave at me, stuff like that. I'm a distance right now, but textable. And I still can, if I walk out there, I can see the bus. Anyway, but where I was camped, I was beside, now, anybody, please don't take offense if I use a term because I don't know another term right now, but to describe the person who was closest to me was a self confirmed drug using hippie chick who does wire wrapping, and it's very pretty. She does a good job with that. But she also had 5 big dogs. Now, Wendy was super happy because there was one puppy in the batch. And so Wendy got to play a lot. She was pooped. She was really tired out. But she got to play a lot, and she really enjoyed. Well, and the girl also had a cat. And so all of that, Wendy had fun playing and all of that. But she was close enough physically to me that she could hear me on the phone. And so somebody I was talking to, I said, well, on the way down, I went ahead and ordered some extra things at one of the Walmarts so I could stop. There's a mosquito in here. So I could stop, and I've had malaria. I don't like mosquitoes. Anyway, so I could stop and pick up the order, and I got an extra bigger amount than normal of puppy pads and baby wipes just in case, and paper towels just in case. And then I got down here and actually at G's camp, and somebody needed some. And so they said, "Hey, I can't get to Walmart. Can I'll pay you for those. I'll pay you I'll buy them from you. So I bought a 6-pack, but I didn't keep a 6-pack. So it's not like I had 6 packs of. Anyways, the girl overheard me. She thought I had 6 packs of baby wipes, and she came at me one morning. How dare you? You, I don't have anything. I don't know what you got. I'm not over in your camp. I don't know what you have and what you need. I don't have any idea. You know exactly what I need, and you didn't share with me. And you have 6 packs of baby wipes, and I can't. I don't even have toilet paper, and I was like, well, you should have said something. And why do you think I have 6 packs of baby wipes? I heard you on the phone, and you're such a mean person. And I was just like, well, first off, that's not exactly true, but let me think about what I'm willing to do. Oh, you shouldn't even have to think about it. You should just give them to me. I was like, what do you think I should give you? She says, anything I need. And I was like, well, this is somebody who is outside screaming at the dogs at 4:30 in the morning, okay? And swearing and nothing quiet. Nothing. It was very challenging. Very challenging. So um, you can imagine that I was careful in that camp. So once I realized that she could hear everything, then I'm not talking on the phone, and I'm only texting, and then I'm being real careful to guard what I have. I don't want somebody or somebody to steal from me. So I'm being nice. So then I took her a pack, brand new pack of baby wipes. Now, mind you, I only have 3 packs, okay? And one's open. So it's more like I got 2 packs and a half. And now I'm giving her one just to keep her happy. But sometimes you have to do those things to keep safe. So that's what I did. But it was, I just, it's, it's people like that that make the camping not fun. And she got trash all over the place, blowing all over, and dog poop. I didn't hardly get close to her camp, and dog poop everywhere, inside the van, outside the van. She comes over to say something to me, and she's like, "Oh, I just had to take a dead mouse out of the van." It was pretty, you know, it was just a skeleton, and I was like, "Oh, how you?" I just, I just don't want to be near that. But I was already in a tent at that point, so you can imagine. I'm really glad to be away from that because that, even though Wendy could play with the dogs, that just was too much. And people with autoimmunes, especially multiple sclerosis, we have trouble with stress. We don't do well with it, and we have to manage stress, changes in temperature, barometric pressure changes, which I've known my whole life about that, but I didn't know I had MS until 3 years ago. So it's, yeah, it's been a thing. And so, like this morning, it's cool enough. My joints are stiff this morning and stuff like that. Um, I just, diet wise, I've tried some things. I tried some things that I like and some things that I don't. I don't like the way the tracker is set up right now. I'm not horrified with it. I don't know whatever words to use, but it's just there are a few challenges. Things could have better homes, so that I don't have to move 2 or 3 things to get to something. And that being said, we're doing fairly well. Okay, we're doing pretty well, actually. I have the right equipment because I've gathered my equipment over years and years, right? Still, if we had a really good rain, I'd still be screwed. The windows aren't done. I did get a hold of uh, the Rally Tops company, and the Rally Tops company told me that they would get me the weather stripping so that I could buy it from them and have it installed. Hopefully early next week that can get ordered. They didn't have it yet. Um, I've got to paint the roof. The ABS or fiberglass or whatever it is that this roof is made out of, it's getting white. I really, we've been being sandblasted pretty badly, so I need to, I have this stuff with me, but I really got to paint that. But I don't want to paint it if it's the wind's blowing, and I'm going to need to borrow a ladder or a step stool. This here in this campsite, Wendy and I need to walk, rest, get strong. I only have a half gallon of water left right this minute. Water's close by. But I need to do laundry and get water. I don't think I will do it today, but I may try to do it tomorrow. Um, I need to check the oil again before I move the car. And then it's very close to a laundromat that has water stations. So I should be able to take care of that. Um, Wendy has decided she likes the kibble I bought. Thank you, God, because that makes that part of my life easier. People who feed their dogs like I like to feed them raw food, you got to have a refrigerator or you got to be near a store. That's a whole thing. So, all right. So what else? I also just started this morning for the first time. I had superfood greens powder. I decided to try it. It's wheatgrass, moringa. I was sick on month, but I'm trying it. Spirulina, and I decided to because I need to be careful. I need the car fixed, and so car is priority right now. And a very second close is my health and my stress. And then I washed some laundry right here the other day, but I'm at the stage of there's too many things that need washing, and with only a half gallon of water, I'm not gonna wash pants well in a half gallon of water. So I'll I'll do laundromat for that. Let me check your messages again. Guys, please use 3 uppercase Qs so that when I move the phone, which might disconnect it the way it's been doing, hopefully not. Um, I read that one already. I can see them quickly and read them. This Louis Beth. Eavesdropping is not a license to demand things. The unmitigated gall of some people got you. Yes, absolutely. I see a hi from Nashville. Please, is that Valerie? Please use 3 uppercase Qs in front of what you want me to read and focus on. Or you could give me a super chat, super thanks, whatever it's called. Donation. Um, okay, so I've read all those comments. Um, I don't know what else to talk about. Well, I mean, the 2 subjects I had were camping with an autoimmune or traveling with an autoimmune. See, just travel in the United States the way most people do it, where you just get in a car and you drive somewhere, not so bad. But doing what I'm doing in this adventurous senior kind of moment thing, um, I'm in a place where the ground is not level. And I keep stubbing my toe on rocks, and it's very frustrating. And yet, I can do it, and it's good practice, and I need to do it more. So, it's pretty right here. Let's do this. And I don't know if you could see with all that sunshine. Oh, maybe you can. I can see a little bit what I'm showing you. But there's all these little wildflowers blowing in the breeze close by. I keep a little distance between me and the wash or the brush or the wheat wildflowers and stuff like that. There's a reason. Um, Rodents and snakes have a place to hide right there. And it never got cold enough this season for the snakes to hibernate. And I don't want to have to deal with them. So I camp a little distance. There's the solar panel, and there's, by the way, the solar panel is not doing what I need it to do, although it may be that I let the battery pack get too low. But I didn't have much choice with a neighbor who was all day long on my battery pack, not letting me use my own charging. It's a thing. We're not going to argue about it. You do things to keep people as happy as you can to keep yourself safe sometimes. And then right there is Wendy's playpen. She's very familiar with that, used to that. And so Wendy gets up in there and enjoys just hanging out. It's where she eats her breakfast. You can see her toys. Oh, her water bowl fell over. I want to get her a water bowl that is more like a hiker's kind, because the bottom of them is flexible, and so they won't fall over as much. They're a little wider on the bottom, but and it's easier for me to carry because I need everything to be lightweight and tiny, in my humble opinion. So that's what's going on. Yes, I have the old battery pack right there. It is charging, and my phone is on it. I I am charging. That battery pack has a through charge capability, so my phone is charging as well. But I really need to let it charge for a while. I need to get it filled back up. I normally never let it go below 2 bars, and it's real now, so it needs time to get pumped back up with juice. So that's what's going on there. So anything else going on? I know that I made it so that you guys have to be subscribers to talk today. Um, I have been. Oh, I've been looking at the tracker and just going. It just feels like an old car. It used to feel so special, and now it just feels like an old car. And maybe I'm being silly about it, but it's it'll be okay. I'll get it. What I was hoping that the oil leak was not bad and that I could have continued to travel, because I had the opportunity to go to Baja, and getting a paint job in Baja would have been inexpensive. I would have to wait till next year the way things are going. So we'll just put that on a back burner and not worry about it. I have heard about BK, Kitty back at the cabin. They've had snow. They've had snow and it melted, and snow and it melted, and blowing sleet and stuff. And for some reason, I'm now using BK for the cat. Anyways, Kitty um, is doing fine. She's fine. Her water's been frozen a couple of times, and so I have someone, and so they're making sure that she's fine. And they texted me pictures and showed me. They were like, "What a cuddle bug! No wonder you wondered about taking her with you." I was like, "Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't need to because I couldn't have handled it with what's going on." And like I said, this morning I'm struggling with my legs and walking this morning. Um, but between the wind and the temperature dropping, those are things that affect my stability and my um, they call it an MS gait. Not as in open the gate to go out, but gait as in stride in the way you walk. So, um, when some people have seen me in past years and they used to laugh at me and joke and say, "You waddle. You just walk funny, you waddle." That is an multiple sclerosis gait, is what they call it. Um, it is the way you walk when you have multiple that MS. And not everybody does it, but many people do. And it's part of my disability. But when I was on disability, nobody even knew about it. Nobody even tested me for that until 2019, right after Thanksgiving. I was paralyzed at Dome Rock down in Quartzsite. Paralyzed, laying on the ground, rained on me, couldn't get up, couldn't talk. They stuck me in somebody's gross, nasty, oh, the toilet black RV. I couldn't talk, I couldn't walk. I was at the mercy of whoever. Somebody told the community that I was fine, and I wasn't. It took me 3 months before I could, it was a month before I could drive to Yuma. And I had all these crazy tests. And then it was 3 months before I felt safe enough to just take my butt back to the cabin. And actually, I didn't have the cabin at the time. That was when a decision was made to build the cabin because I knew there was a possibility I was going to need something else. And honestly, I didn't want the cabin. I wanted to build a wooden Vardo style trailer on a camper. What's the word I want? On a, like a gypsy style, on a landscaping frame. That's what I wanted to do. But nobody would help me with that. And the only person that would help me was talking to me and talking to another neighbor, both of us being women at the same time. And I didn't know, she thought she was dating him. I didn't think I was dating him, but I thought he had an interest. And so he was playing the two of us, and I didn't know her then. I now know her better. What a nice person. I'm glad neither one of us got with him. But, anyways, he refused to build me what I wanted and would only build what he wanted. And I don't know, it was a few weeks later when he walked away and never came. And thank God I have a nephew who was down here in the Tucson area and was willing to give me his Father's Day weekend that year because without him, I'd be screwed. So, anyway, so that's what happened. Hey, Beth, thank you. The BK thing works. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yep. Thank you, uh, Beth, for putting that MS gate out there that way for somebody to see. Because if somebody comes looking for what I'm talking about with autoimmune, I didn't know. I didn't know. Do you know so much? Well, okay, let me back up a little bit in my thought. Um, a little while ago, I got a suggestion for a group to join on Facebook, and it was for MS resources or something. I have learned so much. I didn't know half of this stuff about my own disability. I had no clue. And the more I learned, the more I realized that I bet my dad had this. I bet other people in my family had this. But all the doctors ever saw in those people were they're fat and they have diabetes. And that's all they saw with them. But like my dad, I walk just like him. I don't want to walk just like him, but I do, you know. And I've been way better before. Let me tell you, the times that I'm way better, I'm either I'm either living out of a backpack, which I just followed a guy, I don't know, a few months back on YouTube. He's calling it a one bag life. Have ever since I did that, I've wanted to live a one bag life. And the freedom and the ability for me to stay healthy is better when I live my whole life out of a backpack. All I own is what's in a backpack. That works really good for me. And the other thing that works really good for me is living my life outdoors. And it's hard to live your life outdoors when it's snowing and you're low income. And in the United States, you can't walk places because just the fact that you're walking alongside a road to go somewhere, you could be stopped by the police and maybe arrested just because you're walking. That is so uncool. And there are very few walking. Yeah, New York City's a walking city. Um, but it's it's more common in other countries than here. So I'm just saying that in this, that's why I choose the smaller rigs because I have to get outdoors. I don't have a choice. And when I had the van, now I had a Chevy G20, the blue van, um, regular roof van is what I had. What I learned with that van, just like in an apartment, if I go to the grocery store and I buy enough supplies, I don't have to get out of the van at all for over a month. That's not good for me. Not just the depression. Now, in Explorer, Exploder, I didn't have to go outdoors to use the bathroom because there was a space behind the driver's seat that if you pushed the driver's seat all the way toward the steering wheel, there was enough room to put the portable toilet right there and sit on it. And so that was a blessing. But the honest truth was that most of the time, I got to go to the bathroom, I got to get outdoors. And not only to go to the bathroom, I want to brush my hair because my hair is so long, right? Or whatever. It forces me outside. And I'm just healthier and better. And the thing that happened 3 years ago when my engine blew 3 years ago, the series of events. I was pretty good while I was in Nevada at the first mechanic shop. I was pretty good. But by the time I came home, now I've learned stuff about that car, her area. That's possible. And because that possibility was raised and somebody called me about it, um, I can't erase that from my brain. But the fact that I drove this vehicle back and was forced to keep it for so long, and then I never would have allowed somebody to pan on my new engine. yo, uh-uh. If we gotta wait a week or two, I'll buy a new oil, buy me a new oil pan. I never would have put that on, because it's the only vehicle I've got. So being so much at the mercy of other people, I have a lot of things I'm kind of pissed about, but it was out of my control. I can't fix it. And I've learned over the years to take a deep breath and remember that God knows what He's doing, even if I don't. And to just take a deep breath and work with what I got. But I'm better in a small vehicle out driving around and sleeping at night in the small vehicle than I ever would be in anything else. That or long distance hiking with a backpack. But now, because I have pets, because I got Wendy, the long distance hiking is kind of not something I can do long term. And because of BK, I can't take her with me. So I got her for the cabin. Okay, we're starting to have trouble with my signal. Now, I still have battery. Yeah, 78%. Unplug from the, I'm going to unplug from the charge more. But I see we're starting to have trouble with my signal. And I'm sorry I keep fiddling with my hand. I couldn't put my finger on the tripod this morning, and the tripod was a little too tall for the dash. So here we go. Let me check this. Let me check this. Okay. Beth said, if nothing else, the internet does open up a whole new world of answers. That's how I could add AUDHD to my brain injury. The symptoms overlap. Yeah. And Beth again, nope, not me. I'd stay inside my truck. Much happier not getting out. Socializing is not my thing. FYI, Walmart will deliver it to your pickup at a truck stop. Oh, I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. But I know Walmart will deliver in their parking lot. That's easy too. Um, and I'm not, mine's not about the socializing. Mine is about my body needs the fresh air, the outdoors, the grounding, the something. Um, okay, and I'm going to tell on myself with something else. I, I have a brand new pair of my barefoot shoes I wear all the time. Brand new pair, sitting in a bag, right behind the driver's seat, right here, right over there, behind the driver's seat. Anyway, I have got to throw away the old and put the new. Gotta do, and I'm not ready, but I gotta. So, and then Beth said, "Buffering and out, but you're still here, so are we." Yeah. Okay. So, I think that's all the stuff I wanted to kind of bring out today. Yeah, it's not fun, low income dealing with a vehicle repair or anything like that. But geez, I've been at this for more than 3 years. And it's better. By the way, I was invited back to Overland Expo. We'll see if I can maneuver that and actually be there. That would be really kind of cool. Um, Beth saying cat for a dog like my service dog, it makes me get out and move. Yep. And that is true. Wendy as well. Wendy, not only does she keep me company and cuddles with me at night, but because she's got to go to the bathroom, I need to walk her. And so she's good for other things as well. But like this morning, there was a van moving around. you know, two washes over, and she barked enough for me to see. And then when I said, "Oh, I see it. It's a van. It's okay. It's safe," she stopped. You know, so I've got her pretty well trained. She's pretty good. Well, she got me trained, right? Except for when she like runs away, or that doesn't happen very much. The run and chasing something, but she does like to play and chase. She's young. I mean, she was supposed to be 5 years old. She's not 5 years old. But anyway, I have my breakfast in the sunshine over here warming up. Um, it. I think I'm gonna get rid of my. Oh, I hate to be doing this too, but my So I have two of these small cooler bags from Walmart, Ozark Trail cooler bags. The part of them that I don't really like is that the very top is narrow, right? Is smaller, kind of like a lunch bag or something. It has a zipper on it. But they were only $11, so I already had one that I used when I'm going back and forth to the grocery store. It'll fit a block of ice or a bag of ice. Get it? It won't keep ice more than. But I thought, well, one for driving camping night and one for ski and and so I brought my ice that I had in the unit and I thought, well, I got them in the freezer. And when I got my stuff back, they were um, but I'm thinking about giving not the ice pack, giving the ice pack away to somebody you know who probably could use them to kind of keep whatever they're trying to do. Because if you put all the ice in a cooler, it will help the ice pack be cold. So all of it helps each other stay cold longer. And so I'm thinking about giving it to the people in the Rusty bus, okay? And and I don't think I'm giving them the bags yet. But there could be a point where I could change my storage from these bags to something else. But I'm thinking about it. I probably should have left them at home, just like 4 or 5 things I found I should have left home. But I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to have a problem. So, like, I brought my wool blanket. It's heavy, it's bulky, um, but I couldn't afford to upgrade my sleeping bag when I left. And I thought, well, I'll just bring that. That way I don't have to worry about being cold. I just, we have it, we're fine. Even if it was to snow, we'll be fine. And so I brought it, but I should have left that home. Uh, Now, Wendy's been sleeping on it every night. It's not really a big problem. The other thing I probably should have left home were my orange, I don't have them handy, but my orange rechargeable lights that have the bug zappers on them, because there's no place to put them in here. So this thing I've had since my very first, I think my very first Overland Expo. I volunteered, I think it was 2018. I've had this since then. It takes batteries, it's magnetic, it works. I got one of their new ones and it broke and I didn't like it. So it stays here all the time. Yes, this light works. I think the switch is bad, but it works. I get used it. But the other day, I found a pack of these little. The only thing I wish these could do that they don't is I wish they were motion sensors. They're so little. So they have have a carabiner cloth station. Carabiner, look, I'm not as strong this morning. Anyway, carabiner cloth station, put it on. They're bright LEDs. Good Lord, they're bright. They have a little thick stand, so you can set them on my stuff. They have a magnet, so they have low, right, and flat. And that's it. And they're chargeable. So I now have it's very helpful. I put one on the outside of the car last night or early this morning when I had to go to the bathroom. It was a little bright, but, you know, whatever. We're losing microphone. We are muffled. Mic is going in and out. Okay. We came back in at Ice Pack. Okay. So those cooler bags, the tan one I just showed you, they're $11 at Walmart. And then I have some bigger ice packs that are probably $3 to $4. When you're using ice packs like that, I bought them for the Ninja cooler that's at the cabin. I should have left them with the cooler. I brought them thinking it was worth it. Now they're kind of in my way and they're heavy. So I'm probably going to give them to the people in the Rusty bus. I'm repeating this in case so the wool blanket, I'm glad I brought it because I couldn't upgrade my sleeping bag right now, but it's heavy, it's warm, but it's heavy and bulky, and I should have left it home. I also should have left home my orange rechargeable lights that have the bug zapper built in. I don't have any place to hang them. I don't use them. And then I found these. Much more my size. I should have left those home. Not too many things, but I did pretty good. So, yes, thank you to one of my neighbors with smaller hands. She helped me get the passenger seat that I'm sitting in fixed. So it slides back and forth, and so I can sleep on top of it again like I had been for years. And yeah, that's how I'm maneuvering it for now. Um, oh, love these. Buy these. Support Luno, guys. Luno sells SUV camping stuff. This is a set of fairy lights, that are so they have a magnet on this, and this saver on the other side above my seatbelt. I use this all the time. It has a setting that is much more handy and easier on my arm. After I get the tracker at a stage where maybe I should do a foot job and start making it nice on the inside, I would string these up around inside. But I think those were around $20, something like that. It's worth it. And I also have one of Luno's shoe bags that is magnetic and goes on the outside of the car. Just love those, love those. Support those guys. Those guys are great. Young guys, but love this. Love it. They're doing a good job. All right. Oh, I'm gonna have to look at those vests, at those swivel hook things you just put out. Because yes, my car is older, right? But all of this is steel, and all the white parts are steel. So it's very magnetic. It's very useful to hang something. But like I said, that wool wasn't a bunch. But I did, and so that's that. And oh, I didn't show you. Sorry, Andy, I gotta lose it. Did I have the pillow? She's using this for a pillow. But I'm still knitting, and once I switched it to knit, it's pretty. It was that size needle is just too small. But I'm I'm making a box because my neck is so my neck is so definitely so that person you hit a head on it. You have to move just a little. Oh, I just did so much to focus it. That was great. So, you're such a good girl. Your mama's so good. Yeah. Oh, people might like to see you. I don't know if that's up there. My boo boo. Okay, so anything else, guys? Not sure why your microphone is still out. Oh, poof. All that talking and you couldn't hear me. I'm not sure why either. By the way, to anybody who doesn't know this, I got 2 emails, one from Shure Microphones and one from, whoops, I forgot the other company. But I didn't want to do microphones. And I may have to dig out for next week, dig out my headset would probably. So because I buy, because we're starting to have problems. Okay. You guys have a good week. If you know me well enough, text me or something. Hugs, love, pray for everybody. I don't know what's going on with my microphone, but ciao.